All right, let's just jump right into this. I want you to picture a scene. A CEO walks into a boardroom, sits down with his board, and gives them an ultimatum that could literally rewrite corporate history. Now, this doesn't come from a movie script. It actually happened. And the CEO, of course, was Elon Musk.
And that was pretty much the gist of it. An absolutely unprecedented, almost unbelievable demand that sent shockwaves through the entire financial world. I mean, a demand that extreme, it just forces you to ask, what could possibly be the real strategy here?
Let's just take a second to let that number sink in. $1 trillion. That's a number you usually only hear when you're talking about the GDP of an entire country. To put it in perspective, the entire GDP of Indonesia is about $1.4 trillion. This one compensation package could make Elon Musk the world's very first trillionaire. It's just mind-boggling.
So naturally, the first thing everyone thinks, the most common take on this, is that it's just a raw quest for wealth. A move to absolutely cement his status as the richest person on the planet by a margin that no one could ever touch.
But see, if we stop there, we miss the whole point. We miss the real story. Because that staggering amount of money, it's really just a tool, a means to an end. This isn't really about the cash. There's a much, much deeper game being played here.
So what's the real motivation? It's not the money. It's power. We're talking absolute, unwavering control over the future of Tesla. That trillion-dollar figure is the flashy headline, sure, but the real prize is something Musk considers far, far more valuable. And here it is. This is the real goal. The whole plan is built around stock options, not a direct cash payout. The deal is, if he hits these incredibly ambitious, almost impossible company growth targets, he earns the right to buy huge amounts of new Tesla stock at a fixed, lower price. And that is how he gets his ownership stake up to that magic number, 25%. That's what he truly wants.
So of course, that leads us to the key question, the one that unlocks his whole strategy. Why? What is so special about 25%? Why that number, specifically?
Well, in the world of corporate governance, that 25% threshold is a superpower. It gives you what's known as a blocking minority. Now, this is absolutely crucial, because in a company like Tesla, big decisions require a supermajority vote. So with 25%, it basically means no major strategic move. We're talking mergers, a radical change in direction, you name it, can happen without your personal yes vote. You become completely indispensable. Almost impossible to overrule and nearly impossible to remove.
And to put Musk's ambition into perspective, just look at the other tech giants. Jeff Bezos has about 10% of Amazon. Mark Zuckerberg has around 13% of Meta. See, as companies grow and go public, it's totally normal for founders' control to get watered down over time. Musk's target of 25% isn't just a bit higher. It's a massive, deliberate power play to reverse that trend and lock down a level of control that's almost unheard of for a company of Tesla's size.
Okay, so we've established he wants ultimate control. Fine, but control for what? What is this grand vision that he believes is so important it requires an iron grip on the entire company? To really get his motivation, you have to wrap your head around this one simple but fundamental idea. Tesla is not a car company. It's just not. The electric vehicles, that was just chapter 1. They were the key to unlock the door to something way, way bigger. And this is that bigger vision. Musk sees Tesla's future as being all about AI and robotics. We're talking about a global, self-driving robotaxi network with millions of vehicles, an army of 1 million Optimus humanoid robots deployed around the world, and a central AI brain that's constantly getting smarter by learning from all the real-world data pouring in from millions of Teslas already on the road.
Now, a vision like that is incredibly risky. It's astronomically expensive. A typical conservative corporate board would probably freak out. They'd hit the brakes. They'd say, whoa, Elon, this is too much. Let's slow down. Let's just focus on selling more cars. And for Musk, that kind of pushback, that kind of slowdown is simply unacceptable. He needs a path to get this done that no one can veto.
So what happens if the board and shareholders say no? What are the stakes for them? Well, this is where Musk's leverage becomes crystal clear. It's something the market literally calls the Elon premium.
And we don't even have to guess what would happen if he got distracted or left. Just look at 2022. When Musk was pouring all his focus into buying Twitter, Tesla's stock price plummeted by 65%. This is hard data. It shows that the market doesn't just value Tesla's cars, it values Elon Musk himself, at the helm, focused and leading the charge.
So if he were to walk away, it would set off a catastrophic domino effect.
First, the stock price would absolutely collapse as that Elon premium just evaporates. Second, all the top-tier AI and robotics talent, the brilliant people who came to work for a visionary, not just a car company, they would immediately leave for his other companies like SpaceX or XAI. And what's left? Tesla devolves. It goes from being a cutting-edge AI company back to being just another electric vehicle maker, and it loses its massive valuation. The shareholders, they don't really have a choice.
So when you piece it all together, you realize this isn't just some crazy compensation plan. It is a monumental, all-in bet on the vision of one single person. It's a massive gamble for everyone involved, and that includes Musk himself.
And this really captures the two starkly different outcomes, right? If he actually pulls this off, he cements his legacy as maybe the greatest innovator of our generation, and yeah, he becomes the world's first trillionaire. But if he fails, if this huge vision turns out to be a massive miscalculation, his entire reputation as a futurist could be shattered. The stakes for his legacy are every bit as high as the financial ones.
Which leaves us all with this final massive question. Look, people buy Tesla stock because they believe in Elon. They trust the company because they trust the CEO. But is this move the necessary blueprint to build a truly revolutionary future powered by AI and robots? Or is it a gamble that's just too big, one that puts way too much power into the hands of a single person? I'd love to know what you think.